Hello, beautiful world. It's me again. Centaur's not with me again on this one, but he will be in the next one. So, I want to talk about in episode 20 of Outrageously Evolving, the podcast. I want to talk about how we've been transforming, changing, remaking the world in my Murmuration of Maestros group that I've been running for years now. We do what I call consciousness innovation work, quantum alchemy, bringing new possibilities from the quantum field in. And we are reality creators, or reality emanators might be a better word for us. So that's a lot of words. But let me talk about how we do what we do. So, first of all, everything is energy, everything is vibration. And when you realize that and you work on raising the vibrational frequency, which many people and maybe other life forms too are doing around the planet, and the sun and the cosmos is all raising the vibrational frequency of everything on Earth right now, which is absolutely wonderful, I think. And so we're elevating, we're rising, we are getting more energy, more vibrational access to ourselves. And when you rise in energy and vibration, you access a different kind of consciousness or conscious awareness. I call it being super conscious. So there's a point where you kind of tip over the state of how reality shows up in the world, and you tip over into a place where you become a source creator of life. And then you begin to innovate how we do those things. Some people do it from the quiet of their gardens while they're tending, their vegetables and their flowers. Other people do it while they swim in the oceans, and other people, like my friends and us, we do it together on Zoom calls to innovate consciousness and bring new possibilities and then live into it in the world. So over recent years, one of the things we've been doing is enhancing our interwoven superconnectivity to all life, to the universe, to stars, to galaxies, to nature, to oceans, to animals, to forests, bees, trees, dolphins, whales, fish, insects, creatures of all kind. And we've been working on that as an interwoven fabric of life. And I would say that that interwoven fabric of superconnectivity has really enhanced this year in 2024. We seem to have gotten more of our true source connection, both inside us and in the air around us, in the air we breathe. So everything has come more present, where if you go back 10, 20, even 30 years ago, if you wanted to go to consciousness, most people would go out or go deep in perhaps. But now it's like you breathe and it's right there. It's present in the air around us. And we've been a part of making that happen, of bringing source present, of elevating our super consciousness and our super connectivity. So those are some of the things we've been doing. We've been working with quantum possibility. So how you work with what we called the quantum field, and where we'd find new possibilities in existence already. And we would call those new possibilities in, we would activate them and then actualize them into the matrix of reality, into the fabric of life on Earth. And then we would live into it in our own lives so that it would become a real thing. So we've done that in many different ways. I can't just at the moment think of some of those possibilities, but there have been plenty of them. I would call them breakthroughs. We're sourcing breakthroughs all the time. Another thing that we've been doing is increasing the sentient intelligence of all life. So that includes humans, that includes animals, oceans, water, trees, nature, stars, universe, etc. So there's a way of being with someone or something or some being, whether that's an animal or a tree or whatever, and you witness its magnificence. You call forth its greatness. And then if it's like I was going to use water, but then with the work of Veda Austin and what she's been doing with it, that was very clear that water is now sentient and intelligent. But if you look at the animal sentiency and intelligence has increased in the last 4 or 5 years, certainly in the last 2 to 3 years, big time. You see it more tangibly visible. Have they always been like that? Maybe, yes, possible. But I see an increase in that sentient intelligence and in our, as in the human races, relationship to the sentient intelligence of animals. So there's more respect and more equality and more of an interwoven connectivity again, that we work together. So how do we do this? How do we do consciousness innovation when we're working together as a what I call memoration of maestros? Well, first of all, we are all equal maestros. We all have unique genius, unique superpowers, unique ways of working. There's no, like, I'm hosting it, but I'm not leading it. I'm not saying, I'm not directing. Here's what we're going to do. Here are the steps. Here's how we do this. It's more like we're a collaboration of co-creators, of maestros who want to work together. To each one brings what they bring into the creation. I call it collaborative genius fusion. I know I'm throwing a lot of terms at you, but that's what I call it, collaborative genius fusion. And we connect, we go to connect in whatever way is ours to connect. We might call forth possibility, we might call forth a breakthrough, we might ask source what wants to happen, we might talk to the universe, we might just, it might just pop out of us even. And each one brings what they brings. And then I particularly have an ability to kind of see what's forming up and get insights into it. And you can see how what each one of us brings fits together so nicely. It's really quite lovely to participate in something like that. So we do that once, we begin to see what's forming, what breakthrough is wanting to happen, what's our focus. We might talk for a little bit, that will bring it a little bit more conscious and more present in terms of what it is we're doing. And then we'll do it again. We'll go to consciousness, we'll call the breakthrough, we'll get more insights, we'll each bring our own mastery and superpowers into the game. And we will maybe 2 or 3 times do that until, boom, we've created a breakthrough, which is really exciting. So that's how we've been working in consciousness innovation. Now, let me bring this into a second phase of what I want to talk about. So I want to talk about the reality emanation or the reality creation of it. The words reality creation have been around for years, but I think we're becoming reality emanators. In other words, oh, how do we do that? Okay, there's many, many ways. So you know that a lot of people today are really concerned about the state of the world, right? Like, there's a lot of stuff going on that could really drop your vibration and make you think, ugh, what's happening? Well, so as a reality creator or reality emanator, you are the hope bringer. You are the future innovator. You are the excitement creator. You are the bringer of the new. You are sourcing the now and the future reality of us all in a way that you have to live inside it completely. It is not necessarily about being blind to what's going on. Sometimes I like to make sure I understand what's going on in the world, but you can't let what's going on in the world drop your vibrational frequency. Because if you drop your vibrational frequency and you're a reality emanator, you are now emanating yuck stuff. into the world. You're now joining with all the lower vibrational consciousness to say, what's happening? Everything's a mess. What are we going to do? You're now emphasizing that as a reality, the air we breathe, the consciousness we live within, that people walk in and create from. So as a reality emanator, it's not just the reality right around you, or even in the town or city you live in, or the country you live in. It's bigger than that. We have a great, big, huge impact and influence on what I used to call the matrix of reality. I think now I might change that language slightly to be the source-fueled, source-powered air that we breathe. So even consciousness now has a sentient intelligence to it. A source sentient intelligence to it is in the air all around us. And it's the being with that and being as that. So we are all source sentient intelligent as well. And when you combine all that together, as a reality emanator, you are a source of how reality shows up. So my guess is that you've probably at least maybe the last month or two, maybe even sometimes this year, you've discovered that you have an impact on reality that's beyond what's normal. And what happens is that reality spins around you and shows up as you emanated. So whereas it used to be, there was reality and we would walk into reality and we would respond to reality. It's very, very different now. It may not be for everybody, but I think it is for anyone who's working on a higher vibrational level and in a super conscious state. We are emanating and spinning reality around us. So I'll give you a silly example. We live off a parking lot, and so we get to watch people going by all day, which I think is very fun to do. So when I'm previously not paying any attention, we would see people walking by with grim faces and all bent over and walking on walkers and whatever their state was. And now that I'm a reality emanator, as I stand at the window and watch them go by, and I'm not sending energy or doing anything with them, but they're laughing, they're dressed in colorful colors, they seem more fit, they seem to be more joyous. At least here where I live, that's the way it's showing up. And certainly the friends of mine that I have in the world that are online and in different countries, I think they're experiencing some of that too, which is really interesting. So that's just a very simple example. It applies to many, many other things as well in much bigger ways. So it's not for me about trying to fix or change a situation in the world, but rather to be a source of that which is wanting to happen now, which is already coming present to us. And this living in this new reality is a very different thing from living in an older version of reality where the vibration's low and the consciousness is kind of unaware. So some of the things that exist in this new reality, where I think so many of us are feeling a call to what I call level up. We're wanting to be more visible or tangible or influential in the world, not necessarily taking on big projects or visions, but to be more for the new in some way, to be more for the goodness and the greatness of life. There is also in a lot of us now both a feeling of inner calm and a feeling of inner excitement, which is, it's like a dichotomy, but they sit very well together. And I think that's because Source is so embodied within us all now and in the air we breathe. So it's got a very different feeling to it. We seem to be becoming something, either something more or something new. It depends on your own orientation to that. So, even though you might have been this greater being or this maestro forever, we're like evolving into new versions of ourselves, it seems to me. That's the way I'm seeing it in all of my friends now, which is just wonderful to perceive. We're much more interwoven with all of life now, which is what lets us be a reality emanator, which also is because there's a sense, if you're working in this way at all, of being able to be vaster or more expansive. You cover more consciousness or universe, if you will. So there's an ability to do that. And I would say one of the other things about the new reality is there's just so much more joy in it, which is incredible. So I don't know if you're listening, if you experienced some or all of those things, or if you've experienced none of them, know it's coming, because the new reality is very, very, very present, and it is delightful to live in. And of course, it's going to keep evolving as we go, but oh my God, it's just so special to live in this new reality, for the whole world to be more interconnected, more super conscious, more sentiently intelligent, all around us, everywhere. I mean, it's extraordinary, the possibilities that come from all that. So there you go. I wanted to just take a run at how we change the world, how we elevate consciousness, how we bring new possibilities in, and how we are reality emanators now. That's a lot. So if that was like a bit of a spin for you, well, maybe take it in bits and listen to it over time. Okay. Thank you for listening and watching. It's been great to be able to express this with you all. Have a great time, whatever you're up to today. Lots of love. Bye.